Tonight on CHEK News.
The wildfire situation in BC has reached a critical level.
Our province is facing the highest levels of wildfire risk in memory.
Susie the tiger is gone.
I could end up going to jail for saving this cat.
And could the capital city be on the verge of a construction boom?
Seeing the crews all set to come back, that's very exciting for Victoria.
Now, Vancouver Island's most watched newscast, CHEK News. Here's Scott Fee.
Good evening. Premier Gordon Campbell says the wildfire risk in this province is at its highest level in recent memory. Right now, 85% of the province is either at a high or extreme fire risk level right now. Philip Campbell has a story.
The town of Lillooet is under evacuation alert tonight. About 3,000 people are being told to be ready to flee at a moment's notice as a fire ranging 4 kilometers away threatens their community. Lightning sparked a wildfire yesterday at Whistler Blackcomb. It spread quickly, moving along Crystal Ridge. But thankfully, it was heading away from populated areas and any Olympic venues. Fire crews hit it hard from the air and ground. So far, no evacuation alerts.
The size as of this morning that we're calling it is about 30 hectares, 30 hectares. So yesterday I was reporting it between 50 and 75 hectares, and it's closer to 30 hectares. So that is very good news.
There's danger in the vicinity of the mountains. We have closed the mountains, and we do ask people to leave the mountains for their own safety.
And on Vancouver Island, the fire danger is also very real. A 20-hectare blaze is burning at Vernon Lake near Wass. It started yesterday in a remote area. Those camping nearby have been keeping an eye on it.
Wednesday, when the lightning struck, there was about 4 hot spots that were in the first growth. About 100 yards from the bottom of the first growth. And since last night, the fire's actually moved into the second growth. We had quite a wind here yesterday.
What we are seeing right now are unprecedented high temperatures and quite a bit of lightning activity and very, very dry conditions around the forest.
The Premier says it's been a long time since we've seen this kind of perfect storm in the woods.
Our province is facing the highest levels of wildfire risk in memory. Record high temperatures have created a serious situation that can best be described as tinder dry. Right now, there are 531 forest fires currently burning. Yesterday alone, 171 new fires were started. And currently, about 85% of the province is rated as high or extreme risk of wildfires.
Campbell is asking you to voluntarily restrict your backcountry activities and respect the campfire bans already in place.
For the first time ever, an air quality advisory was issued for parts of Vancouver Island. The Ministry of Environment says the advisory affected communities from Nanaimo to Campbell River. Kendall Hansen has more.
It's another spectacular day to be diving at Westwood Lake, and lots of people are soaking in the sunshine while they can. But as you look at the mountains, you can see the air is far from clear.
I noticed that it's a bit more hazier than usual.
In fact, over the past 48 hours, there's been much more haze than usual. The source, a high level of particulate matter.
For the most part, it's been driven by the hot, dry, sunny weather, pretty extreme conditions. And then the forest fires on the mainland gradually pushing smoke into our area.
On top of BC's Ministry of Environment building is the equipment that measures air quality in Nanaimo. At this and other similar stations up to Campbell River, the readings were so poor yesterday for PM2.5 or particulate matter, the ministry issued an air quality advisory for the region, making this week one for the record books.
Very unusual. We haven't issued an advisory on Vancouver Island before. The first was on Wednesday for Victoria, the CRD, and then yesterday for Nanaimo to Campbell River.
For most people, it just means things in the distance don't look as clear. But for those with asthma and respiratory ailments such as Hollister King, highly hazy days like yesterday are problematic.
It was hard to breathe, and it was really hot.
The main thing that we've been saying is really common sense. Staying out of the sun is probably a good idea. Remain hydrated, try to stay cool, and maybe minimizing physical exertion, particularly if you already have respiratory problems, that kind of thing.
Fortunately, for those with asthma, the wind was picking up this afternoon, which tends to improve air quality.
Looks like the weather is starting to cool off just a little bit, and that should help us. We're already seeing substantial improvement in the Victoria area, for example, because there's winds coming in off the Pacific.
And late this afternoon, the Ministry of Environment lifted the advisory, a sign that the haze in the air is disappearing, marking the end of a very hot and unusual week of weather on Vancouver Island.
The District of Highlands' most controversial resident has moved out of the area. After a long legal battle, the owner of Susie the Tiger removed her earlier this week. She is reportedly living somewhere in BC's interior, but as Mary Griffin reports, Susie's owner's troubles with the law are not over.
Dave Bennett closes the gate to the empty cage once occupied by Susie the Tiger. The animal left several days ago to an undisclosed location somewhere in BC.
He has a 160-acre ranch and out in the middle of nowhere, and he already has 2 tigers at his ranch, and it has extremely large pens, way larger than this one, so that's where she's going to.
Bennett rescued the Siberian Bengal cross last year and built the enclosure at a cost of thousands of dollars. But just days before Susie moved into the neighborhood, the district passed a bylaw outlawing exotic pets. Now, even though the tiger is gone, his troubles are continuing.
Papers just came through to continue on, Hans continuing on for contempt of court, to take me to court on August 18th.
The District of Highlands ordered Bennett to get rid of Susie by the middle of June. She moved to her new home Monday, but he's still facing a contempt of court hearing.
Well, I could end up going to jail for saving this cat.
No one from the district would discuss the court issue on camera, but this councillor says many living in the neighborhood are relieved.
We've all been concerned, and for Dave to take action and find another place, that's a big relief, certainly.
Bennett says he spent up to $30,000 on Susie in the past year, and in hindsight, he's not sure he'd do it again.
It's been a pleasure with her, that's for sure. But legally and financially, it has been a burden all year for me, and it's not even over. So
Bennett is scheduled to appear in court August 18th.
It's one of the most ambitious condo projects in the capital city, transforming the former Hudson Bay store into a massive downtown condo development. However, construction on the mega project came to a grinding halt thanks to the struggling economy. But now, as Bob Kendrick shows us, things are back on track. In fact, this could be the start of a construction boom.
Well, it was a lot busier in this store, that's for sure.
On the 1700 block of Douglas, they wink and call it the store. And you can find pretty much anything there. But the store is in the shadow of the condo project in the former store. And it has sat cloaked in mystery as Thomas Hurd watches on his smoke breaks.
You know, it was pretty progressive looking, good for business, but it's a shame it's just died.
No, Thomas, the Hudson lives, according to the head of its development company, Townline.
On the 10th of August, the forming contractor's back on site, and the crane will be swinging.
Work stopped while Townline sought permission to split the project into 3 developments, making it more attractive for financiers. Victoria Mayor Dean Fortin says City Council has granted that permission.
They were looking for new solutions given the new economic reality they're facing, and so working with Townline, it's a great opportunity to get the project back on the rails.
Illich says he will pay off some 20 to 30 builders' liens, as much as $3 million worth.
They should be paid out by next Friday.
Then Townline will complete the 152 condo units in the former Hudson's Bay building by next summer. Phase 2 will be a 120-unit condo tower where the former Parkade sits.
This project is leading the renewal of the north end of downtown of Victoria. It is a bellwether project. Seeing the crews all set to come back, that's very exciting for Victoria.
Exciting for former MLA Susan Bryce, who now runs a senior center down the block from the store.
This is one of the real key projects, and I think this is going to kickstart a lot of other people who have properties and plans.
Remember this pit on Yates Street that was supposed to be condos all those years ago? Well, now the mayor says economic conditions are right that this project may again spring to life as an office building.
125,000 square foot commercial building moving forward. You know, it's again renews that area of town, renews that street on Yates Street. Again, a good sign of economic recovery.
Now that the Hudson is green-lighted again,
Hopes are running high. It's a sign that more of Victoria will soon go from the pits to promising.
They can't just sit here and have empty buildings like that around, you know. It's no good.
A former BC premier has waded into the controversy surrounding plans to bring in a new harmonized sales tax. The Liberals want to roll the provincial sales tax and the GST into one levy of 12%. That means the HST would apply to a whole new range of products such as plane fares and haircuts. Now, Bill Vander Zalm accuses the Liberals of lying during the election campaign when they promised not to introduce a new tax during a recession. And he warns a tax revolt is brewing.
They announced it in the middle of summer on a hot day when the Braidwood Commission was coming back with its recommendation regarding the use of tasers. All of that was staged, I believe, in order to avoid too much publicity. It hasn't had enough publicity. People need to know about it.
Rod Stewart fans on the island are going to be disappointed. Stewart has canceled his performance in the capital city on August 12th due to scheduling conflicts. Anyone who bought tickets will receive a full refund. You just contact select your tickets at 250-220-7777. Still to come on CHEK News, Gordy Tupper will stop by with a look at our long weekend weather. Jeff King has sports, and at 5:30, all your national and international news with Kevin Newman. Much more to come on CHEK News. Stay with us. CHEK News, Crime Stoppers wanted.
Douglas Gazarek is